right, JavaScript objects. Well, let me actually make an object. Yes, let's say that we have our friend in an app. Maybe it's like a social media app like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Usually, we try to keep track of things about the friend. Like, hey, they have this many followers or whatever, and this is their name, and other things like where they live, something like that. So this is how we do it. We do it with objects, and you've probably seen these before, but let's say that we have different properties on it, like a name, because we want to know our friend's name. So usually we keep track of that, and let's say his name is John, and we might have, I don't know, his age in here. Let's say that he's like, I don't know, 22, whatever. And maybe we'll keep track of where he lives. Like, I don't know, we'll say that he lives in Johnstonville. Yep, Johnstonville. That's certainly not generic. So if we were to take a look at this, we can just check to make sure that we successfully created our object. We can just log it out and type the name of our object correctly. If we save it, we will see that, yeah, we do get it logged out to the console, and we had all the stuff that we had here. So here's our object. I'm just opening it up, and we see, yep, we got the age, 22, city, Johnstonville, and name of our friend is John. Cool. Like, that's pretty straightforward. But like if we had like an app, I mean, this is a simple app, but if we had an app that we wanted people to use, we'd probably want to show like each one of these separately, right? We wouldn't want to show all of them together. We want to just show like John, and then in another place in the app, maybe below it, we have age 22, and separately we might want to show just the city or something. So how would we do that? Like, how do we just select one of these things on there? Like, for example, if we just wanted to select the name, how would we do that? Super simple. All we gotta do is type the actual object and then a dot, and then whatever property we want. So like name, and this is how we select just the name on my friend. So if I just cut this, that's what I'm doing, cutting, and paste it in here, save it, we see, yep, we just got just the name John. We selected just the name on my friend object. And we can do this with, if we switch this out with age, we get just the age, city, we get just the city. Cool, straightforward. That makes sense, right? Well, that's pretty much it. When it comes to objects, that's pretty much what we do with them. We make them, and we select things on them. Now, granted, maybe my friend John, I don't know, maybe he moves to another city. Maybe he has, I don't know, a friend named James, and he's like, I'm tired of Johnstonville. I'm a grown man. Time to move away from my family and explore the world. So my friend John, goodness, I'm so bad at typing this. All right, my friend John, let's say he changes city. How do we change it? All we gotta do is literally just set it equal to something else. That's how we change it. So Johnstonville, maybe he moves to his friend James, where James lives. And let's say James lives in Jamestown. Sure, James lives in Jamestown. So now John used to live in Johnstonville, but then he moved or something, and then he updated it in the app, and he's like, hey, this is where I live now. So we just set my friend.city to something else, Jamestown, and now in the app we see Jamestown. Cool. That also is pretty straightforward. That's pretty much it when it comes to objects. Now, granted, let's say, we had, let's say, users friends list, because it's not necessarily just John's. This isn't just applicable to John. Let's just say that we could use it for any user. Usually if we have a friends list, it's an array, right? It's a list of things. So that's what we use arrays for. And we might have, let's say, the names of our friends in here. Like one of our friends, or one of John's friends was James. Let's say another one is Shayna. And then another one of John's friends is Al. Sure. And if we log this out, yeah, we see, friends list. Got the S. If we log this out, we see our array. There's the friends list right there, right? But you might notice that right now we're just getting strings. Like, these are just strings. The names, we just have the names of our friends. We don't actually have any details about the friends here, which is probably, that would be useful. We might have, where does James live? Where Shayna lives or how old Al is. You know, that would probably be more useful than just their name. So usually you'd have an actual object in here. So for example, let's just make one. Let's make one for James. So I'll just make an object for James, make a new variable, and just call it friend1. And we'll set the name equal to James here. I'll just copy and paste this in. So this is going to be our object for James, and we'll say he's 21 and he lives in Jamestown, right? That's what we said, Jamestown. Yes, totally legitimate town. So now, instead of just saying the name here in the friends list, it might make more sense to actually put this object of James in here instead. I'll just paste that in. Here's our object. And now if we log this out to the console, we see, yeah, we still got 3 things, but look, the first one isn't a string like the rest of them. I can't talk either, like the rest of them, and it's an object. Yeah, look at that. So if I open this up, I see, there we go, the other 2 strings, Shayna and Al, but James is now an object, and we have all the details about James. So that probably makes more sense. Let's do that for the rest of the things in the array instead of just the strings. So I'll just make another one for Shayna. I'll just copy and paste that and call this friend2. And it's gonna be Shayna. Shayna lives in Shayna's town. I wanted to come up with something more creative, but I couldn't think of anything. So we'll go with Shayna's town. And we'll make another one for Al, good friend Al. So call it friend3. And this one is going to be for Al. We'll say Al is 22 and Al also lives in Shayna's town. Sure. And oh, I gotta also change these now. I'm gonna take Shayna's object and put it there instead of the string. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Al. Here's Al's object. I'll put that where Al's name was. So now we have an array for our friends list with 3 objects in it. And if we take a look, hey, look at that. There's 3 objects and we got the name. For the first one is James. There's Shayna's. There's Al. And it has all their details inside each one. And that is pretty much all we need to know about objects for now. As you go along, you'll see different ways that we can use these, but a bare minimum of what you need to know about objects to get a job, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it with objects. Hopefully that was useful. If you'd like to support and help me think of other ways, or what? That's not what I usually say. If you'd like to support and help me think of, if you'd like to support and allow me the time, that's what it is. If you'd like to support and allow me the time to think of ways to help others feel less intimidated by tech, feel free to check out the link below in the description to my Patreon. I love y'all. And as always, may the odds be ever in your favor and the snacks be ever in your bag.